What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we're going to look at the Texas A&M Pro Style Playbook in College Football 25. Now, this is Mike Elko's first season at Texas A&M. He brought Collin Klein with him. He came from Kansas State. He was the offense coordinator, and he was an all-time great quarterback there at Kansas State. And this is going to be very similar to the Michigan Pro Style Playbook. If you remember that video, a lot of multiple tight end sets, a lot of shotgun, a little bit of under center, very run heavy, very play action heavy. So kind of expect that as we go through the video. But we'll go through the formations and concepts and play types and personnel. And hopefully by the end of the video, you'll have a good idea of what this playbook is all about. So again, this is the Collin Klein offense. So if anybody watched Kansas State the last several years, they do a lot of running play action, but they do a lot of QB run type stuff. And it's a really cool playbook. So let's just go through it. We'll start off with the formation. So as a whole, we got shotgun formations, we got pistol formations, we got some I formations, and we even got a strong formation. And that makes up the entire playbook. Let's start off with shotgun and work our way down. Starting off, we have gun ace. You got 18 plays there. Now this is a 12 personnel set, so notice 18 and 88 as your tight ends. Then we got ace slot. Then we have wing slot over. Then we have U off trips. And we have wing slot weak. And then we get into our 11 personnel. So you notice just out of the gun alone, you go back to ace. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 personnel formations just out of gun alone. Trust me, there is more to that. Let's look at the 11 personnel. This is usually the most common personnel grouping in the game. You got gun doubles, 21 plays there. You got flex Y off weak. You got stack Y off trio weak. Then you got tight open. Then you got spread double flex. Notice number 18, your tight end, he's still out there, so this is technically by default an 11 personnel set. Then you got bunch open offset, and then you got empty base flex, and it's still 11 personnel because look at where the halfback is at, number 8 and 18, your tight end. So a lot of pretty much 12 and 11 personnel throughout all of your shotgun formations. So I want to talk about a few of these formations that are a little bit more rare in this game that Texas A&M has. First of all, let's go over to wing slot over. You go here, and there's like only 3 or 4 playbooks in this game that has this particular formation. So you got 12 plays here. You got an inside zone play action off of that. You got stretch, which is an interesting one. I thought this was a really cool play. Doing stretch from the shotgun is kind of interesting. It's kind of like a counter play. As you notice right there, the halfback gets it and he cuts back over to the right. Just a weird setup. Not a whole lot of plays that are like that. I just think it's a really interesting little concept they got there. So you go back, you look at, they got power read, you got PA inverted veer, so you got play action off that power read, you got speed option, you got a little sprint out, you got a QB wrap. Again, notice there's going to be a lot of option, a lot of QB related runs in this playbook. For it being a pro style. Then you got PA post curl, a lot of one-sided pass concepts. So you pretty much only have to read one side of the field. That's what this formation is all about. So I definitely would check out this formation for sure. A lot of these plays just kind of work really well together. The next one is flex off week. Let me go over here, flex Y off week. We got 18 plays in this one. This is another formation where not a lot of playbooks have it. You got double slants, an RPO, a PE read, some curls, your basic stuff. Nothing too crazy here. You got some more RPOs, drop backs, more counter, and we're really going to talk about the counter here in a little bit when we go over to the concept side of things. Sluggo and double post, but again, just not a lot of formation, not a lot of playbooks have this particular formation, so kind of keep that in mind. The other one I want to mention is ace slot. You go back over here, I think this one in Kansas State are the only playbooks that have this formation. And again, he came from Kansas State, Collin Klein did, so both of those playbooks will be kind of similar to each other. So you got QB power and smash, DIY reverse. I'm going to go ahead and just use that one as an example. Just another weird, interesting little concept, but it's a QB play, but you can pitch it to the halfback as a reverse. If you can, notice it said L1 above the halfback. It's hard for me to pull this off. I'm not really good at it, but I just wanted to point it out. I mean, if I can do it at the right timing, I think that's the key here. I tried practicing this. I just wasn't very good at it. Maybe I got to hold down the button. Either way, I just really had a hard time making it work. But again, L1 and I'm holding it, I'm tapping it, nothing really works. So somebody in the comment section could put kind of what I'm doing wrong there. But either way, it's in there if you need it. You keep on going down. It's got more play action, RPOs, inside zone, more RPOs, dropbacks, just your typical stuff. But notice it's a lot of same side field reads, especially in your passing game. So be aware of that one. So those are the 3 formations that are just kind of unique to this playbook and especially the game. Let's go over to pistol. So we got a lot of pistol formations. So we had quite a bit of gun. We had what? I don't know, 10 or so formations. When it comes to pistol, we have a bunch of pistol formations. More than I would actually expected. So this is a nice blend between gun and pistol. Starting off, we got strong. This is technically a 21 personnel, number 84 there. That's technically a fullback, but I think they got him as a tight end in this game. Then you got weak slot over. That is another 21 personnel formation. Then we get into our 12 personnel, our deuce. Then you get in the wing slot over. Notice these names sound familiar because a lot of these were in the gun as well. Then you got U off trips. Then you got Y off trips. So notice we got a bunch of 12 personnel formations in pistol on top of that. But we also got our 11 personnel with Y off trips, and now you're back to strong. So one formation I want to point out is weak slot over. I think this is another formation where only just a couple of playbooks have it. You got some inside zone split, power O, play action off of all that. More play action, a counter strong. I really enjoy counters in this game. You just got to be really patient with it. Hopefully the blocking's decent, of course. But if you can just find a crease in between the holes, and forgive me if I don't make this look perfect, I'm doing this live. But it's just really cool. If you could just find a crease and maybe your guys can block for you a little bit better, you can do some serious damage with those. So you got more plays in here. You have another zone play, just the inside run. You got an RPO built off of that, a bubble, and you got a lead read option. That's when you got that backside fullback, in this case, blocking for you. So that was like the main formation out of all these. I just kind of want to point out, again, it's just another unique formation. Let's go over to the I formation. Guess what? We got a bunch of I formation in this playbook. It's a pro style playbook, so kind of keep that in mind. But this one actually has some neat stuff in here as well. This is more of your bigger sets. So you got 22 personnel, your 2 tight ends and 2 running backs. You got tight and you got slot. This is actually a rare formation. We'll talk about it here in a minute. You got wing over, and tight. So those are your 3 22 personnel sets. But I'm going to talk about slot. This is just another rare formation in this game. Just not a lot of teams have, of course. It's an I formation, so that's to be expected. You can do a little RPO action over here. Just read that slot corner or that nickel if he's covering the bubble or not. You see over here, we can maybe get a decent gain. Not bad. Go pick up another 10 yards or so. But doing that from under center, I always found that to be pretty cool. It's got a really nice NFL vibe to it. But you got play action on top of that. Look, PAY throwback. Look at the angle of that tight end's route. I'm going to go ahead and select this. We'll go up against something random. And I'm going to force this to the tight end. Just a really weird route that he's running. And I threw that way too early. I may try that again. Let's try that. You got to wait. It's a super long route. Hopefully you get good pass protection by the time he breaks the route. But he's double team here. Don't ever throw into a double team, of course. But I just wanted to point out this particular route, just how weird it is. I'm sure it's really good against man. And again, when he's just not double teamed. So it looks like he may have a chance here. Oh, that was a good try. Either way, an interesting play, I felt like. So you keep on going. Ice slot. 18 plays. You got some jet sweep action if you need it. Then you got your basic old school stuff, your dive, your toss, Y-cop smash. There's going to be a lot of smash in this playbook. I'll just go ahead and tell you right now. And you got basic stretch and power O, just typical good pro style fun stuff to use. So that is it for your ice slot. Again, just a bunch of 22 personnel with a little 21 built into it. And last but not least, we got a strong formation. This is strong twins over. This is a unique formation. There's only 6 plays in it. You got blast, PA verticals, inside zone split, a smash, a power O, and play action off of that. But if you go back and look, who is our starting left tackle in this formation? It's 60. He's an impact player. Well, anytime you deal with a tackle over formation, you're putting the 2 tackles beside each other to one side. So 71 and 60 are your 2 starting tackles, and you do that for the sole purpose of just running the ball in that direction pretty much. So you go over here, hopefully you get decent blocking. trying to find whatever crease you can and just go with it. But that's what those are for. Those would be really good for your third and fourth and shorts, goal line type stuff. Just a unique, again, oddball formation. So those are the formations I wanted to cover. Let's talk about personnel since we've hinted at this already. Let's go to the very top. So 11 personnel, as you would imagine, when we talked about it, we got plenty of it in here. Very common in this game. Going to be a lot of it, even from the pistol, but the majority of it's going to be in your shotgun. 23 personnel, that's your goal line. 32, that's your QB kneel. 22, it's going to have quite a bit of it in here. All of it is from your I formation sets. You go to 21, you got quite a bit of it in here. So if you like to get that fullback in there, or it's typically, I think your second tight end gets put right there. But anyway, a lot of 21 personnel. Then your 12 personnel, a whole lot of it. So again, this is very similar to the Michigan playbook, just a lot of multiple tight ends out there. So that is your thing. This playbook is definitely for you. Let's talk about concepts and play types. This is the real fun part. Let's go up to run and notice the play count. We got like 93 runs, 50 plus options, and so on and so forth. That kind of gives you an idea of kind of where this is heading. Starting off with runs. Now, keep in mind, this is a pro style playbook, so there's going to be a lot of variation, a lot of variety in your concepts. We got 28 inside zones in this playbook. That's a whole lot. And inside zone is usually the most popular concept, but that to me, that's still quite a bit. I'm going to go and select one from pistol. I love the pistol formations as long as you get blocking halfway decent. I think my tight end busted up the coverage on that. Well, let's try this again. Maybe I can make this look halfway decent. Nah, just get a few yards. Anyway, it all depends on your blocking and patience with the blocking. No, again, just my tight end just got beat on that one. Either way, plenty of inside zone in this playbook. Then we got a bunch of other really cool stuff. So you got 6 ISOs. That's pretty much with a fullback in there for the most part. I know you got a halfback direct. They treat that as an ISO play. But let's talk about power. 23 power plays, 20 plus in this playbook. Think all your power O's, just pulling guard, things of that nature. But if you're going to do a lot of pulling guard action, and I'm going to go ahead and just select the power O, and we'll do it from this formation. Having that pulling guard going around, I may have to go around this way and get some yards. Again, if you like to have a pulling guard, this is definitely a playbook for you. But on top of those power concepts, all those 20 plus plays, guess what? We got a bunch of counters to go with it. Those go together perfectly. So you got counter Y, you got some split action on top of that. You got fake bubble. Notice on here on the left, counter strong. If you're going to use the RPO off of that, you need to use counter with it. It just gives the defense that same look. This really works well, especially against another human being. So you got a bunch of those. Then you got 3 draws. You also got 12 outside zones. That's a high number for that particular concept. I love stretch. Most of these will be stretches. If you don't like a pulling guard, but you still want to go to the outside, you could do stuff like this. You just got to hope your blocking's halfway decent. But either way, you got 12 of those. And then we got a couple other things. We got 4 sweeps. So if you like the toss, you can do it there. You got 1 trap. You got a couple reverses. Keep that in mind. We looked at one of them earlier. And then you got that didn't work, or I messed it up or something. And then you got technically 1 jet sweep, but there's actually more of them in here. So anyway, your main inside or run concepts is going to be your inside zone, your power, and your counter on top of that. And if you want to throw in some sweeps just because you like to move some offensive linemen around, you definitely can do that. When it comes to option, you got 4 inverted veers. So anytime you have several inverted veers in a playbook, that tells me that they really enjoy having that quarterback running, because this is not as popular as read option or speed option. So you have 4 of them in here. You got 4 load options. These are technically your speed options, as you can tell by the name. You got 15 reads. Pretty typical. Notice we got a lot of split action with that backside tight end. Then you got 4 speed options. We just looked at those. And then we got 5 RPO reads. You got 5 peaks, and you got 13 alerts. So it's not the biggest RPO playbook in the world. It's nothing like the Texas playbook, but you have enough here to do damage, and they're all of different variety. You got bubbles, you got the alert outs. That's probably like my favorite of the bunch. You got glance routes, things of that nature. You even got a tight end alert as well. So you got a little bit of RPO, but the basics of all of this is you're going to run the ball with your quarterback a little bit. It's going to be from a lot of your reads, your speeds, and even some inverted veer if you're good at that. I'm not very good at that particular concept. Let's go to quick passes. You got 4 Ohios. If you like to have the go route with an out route underneath, you got a little bit of them there. You got 1 in Omaha, but then you got 12 slants. That's more than enough. That should tell you that's a big concept in this one. You got 2 spacings and you got 10 stick. So stick and slant is usually your go-to quick game concepts in most of these playbooks, and it's evenly split for the most part. So go with the one you like or use both if you're good at both. You go to medium pass. We got quite a bit of stuff in here. Notice all the different variety. Again, this is a pro style playbook. So shallow cross, you got 3 of those. You got 25 smash. This is usually the most common medium pass concept in the game. I'm going to go ahead and select one. I'm a big fan of the corner routes, or I call them the flag routes, like hitch corners over here on the right. Let's go up against like a nickel random. I know those routes right here work pretty well against man. I guess it maybe depends on if you got like bump and run coverage. I can hit the hitch for easy yardage. Either way, you pick a side, usually with the least amount of defenders, and you attack it from there. Really good stuff. Or you may like the corner flat version. I'm sure there's corner strike. So it depends on which ones you like. The smash over here on the right's really good against like a cover 2. I'm going to go ahead and select that while I'm here. Let's go nickel. Let's go against cover 2 zone. I'm sure there's in it. Let's like Tampa 2 may be good enough. So this is pretty good. I can try to... Oh, they're going Tampa 2. That's right. Well, no wonder. So Tampa, that doesn't work very good against Tampa 2, but I like the smash on one side. You got to go up the middle. It's just a killer safety beater. And then you got another corner on one side. Technically, it's smash on either. Just really nasty stuff right there. So if you're a smash guy, definitely use this playbook. You got 5 choices. You got 10 curls if you're a curl flat guy. And you got 8 double moves. And notice the variety here. It's not one particular concept. It's just having at least one route that has a receiver doing something multiple times before. Like there's that PAY throwback, for example. He makes a couple moves before he ends the route. You got 4 drives. You got 3 levels. You got 4 mesh. You got 1 pivot. 5 Salems, you got 3 slot crosses, and you got 11 spots. And remember, this is a pro style playbook, so these spot plays should be in abundance with this one. Can I make a play? No, just good defense by the corner. But anyway, the spot's really good. If I can get that underneath the zone, he's wide open. That's a touchdown. Oh, terrible throw. Either way, good stuff right there. But notice it is a smash on one side with a spot underneath. So again, there's a lot of smash in here. But if you like that spot route, you got 11 of them in here. So the most common ones, you got spot. The biggest ones is going to be, of course, is going to be your smash. But you got plenty of curl. But if you want to mix in some drags and digs, you got a little bit of drive, shallow cross, and mesh if you want it. But again, it's all pro style. You're going to have a bunch of stuff in here. Deep pass. This is a run playbook, so you're going to run the ball however which way you want to do it, whether it's option or basic handoffs, and you're going to do play action a lot of on top of that. So you got all these comebacks and going over the top. You got 14 comebacks. I love the comeback route, just killer against man. 3 divides. You got 6 verticals. Different variety there too. Shot plays, just a lot of your play actions, but not all of them are play action, but some of them are. Then you got 6 switches. If you are a run and shoot kind of guy, you like that post wheel combo, you got 6 of those. You got 8 daggers. That's a go with a dig underneath it. Then you got a double dig of 1 of those, and you got 9 double posts. I'm not the best when it comes to those double posts. I usually have to hot route the inside guy to something else like a dig. But anyway, if you like the double post, there's plenty of it in here. And you got a lot of flood. Notice what I talked about earlier with the run play, with some of those formations, the rare ones. What do we talk about? Same field, same side reads. Well, that's what flood is. It's all, you're just attacking one side of the field. I really enjoy flood in here. And you got meals, you got 6 Portlands, and then you got 1 white cross. So you got just a little bit of everything, but you're going to be doing a lot of flood. You're going to do a lot of play action, shot plays, and verticals, and some comebacks. Okay, play action. We know we got more than just like the 21 that they're going to show here, but there's 12 boots. And you got roughly 9 slides. That's when you got that backside tight end going across, things of that nature. But we're going to go over to the play types and look at more of those. You go to screen pass, you got 4 bubbles, and you got 7 wide receiver screens, all different variety. Now, we've already looked at some of these with those RPOs, but let's go over to the play types. Let's go up to the passing, and notice there's just a lot more passing than anything else in here, but you still got tons of runs and options. But let's go up to pass. You go to quick pass, you got 12 of those, you got 8 standards and 100 shotguns. But I want to talk about the play action. 69 of them. So you run the ball however you want to do it. Again, your basic handoffs are your options, but then you're going to do play action on top of that. These are all your just natural play actions. Notice you got boots and slides. That's when you got that quarterback running around a little bit. You go to screen pass. These are all of your screens. You got your 13s. These are your slips, your jailbreaks, and your mid screens, things of that nature. Let's go to runs. I'm going to go over to inside handoff. 67 of them. This is where they put all the inside zones, the traps, and quick base. There's that stretch. Anything that's between the tackles, that's where they're going to put this here, but there's 67 of them. 16 outside handoffs. There's those reverses, but you got a couple buck sweeps in there, but this is where all your stretches are going to be. 4 pitches, your 13 counters, your few draws, 3 fullback runs. And this is what I want to talk about right here. QB runs, there are 9 of them. So if you just really want to run your quarterback, whether it's via the option with reads, speeds, and leads, or you just want the quarterback just to run it himself with no reading whatsoever, you can do that in here. So I'm going to go out. Let's go up against just random 4-3. This is a pure run play. You just got to try to juke that guy, break it, whatever you can. But there's nothing to read here. And I don't even know if you can flip these. I don't think you can. And yeah, I figured you couldn't. But you just got to hope and try to get whatever you can. This could be good for 3rd and 4th and short, unless you're just a whole lot better at these than I am. But it just comes down to blocking. Again, that's just blocking and tackling. That's what football is all about. But there's a bunch of them in here. There's 9 of them. That's a super high number compared to what I've seen from other ones. So you notice you got like a QB power with a jet sweep action. You got QB wrap. You got, of course, the QB sneak. It just, again, QB running. That's what a lot of this is, but it's pro style-ish, if that makes any sense. Options, these are all your reads, speeds, and leads, 23 of them. You're going to use them quite a bit. And then you go to your RPOs. You got 20 plus of these, and we looked at these earlier, 3 reads, 7 peaks, and 13 alerts. So what's the gist of the entire playbook? A lot of 2 tight end sets, sometimes 22 personnel, half shotgun, half pistol, a little bit of I formation, a little bit of old school pro style if you need it. But when it comes to your concepts, inside zone, power counter, you're going to do RPOs off of that. And you got your big QB run game and then your play action off that. This is a very big playbook. I'm not going to lie. We went through a lot of concepts, a lot of play types, a lot of formations. Most of these pro style playbooks are just really thick. So you kind of keep that in mind. But at least you know with this one's just a little bit different than some of the other ones. And I think you'll enjoy it. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.